Hello there everyone, welcome back to Train Simulator Classic. My name is Emily. Today we're back on the Vectron in CD livery. This is one of the 384 Vectrons, class 384-023-8. It's on loan from a German company, and it is one of the 240 km an hour Vectrons, hence that rather snazzy 90s adjacent livery. Just realising I haven't panned up yet. There we go. Oh, the train's not happy. Oh, I know what I've done. Try now. There we go. So we're on 3 kV of DC, and then en route we switch over to 25 kV of AC current. This is EC207 Porta Moravica from Warszawa Główny to Wien Westbahnhof. This loco is taken over at Bohumín, where these two Austrian coaches were added that arrived from Krakow. So you've got your bumps here, which is 200 kmh coach, and a bums. You can see it's one of them's the modular Eurofirmers, which is quite fun. So I see newer coaching stock. We've got about a minute until we depart. So quick fly down. So you've got the bums with a little kids compartment. I'll show you that in a moment. And then you've got a swapped in here is a Bud MP, which is supposed to be a yeah, supposed to be, not bums, it's something different. BMPZ, I think. And then a restaurant car here, a Woodhams, in Uherskeho livery. As you can see, it's next German code. You can see the faded. You can see it a lot easier on OBS than I can. And then in the back, you've got got an amps. This scenario will be available from Train Sim Community, the Train Sim Community website, correction. So we've got 40 restriction on the speed, so cue that on. We've got 15 seconds till we depart. Brakes on. We've not got, it's saying traction's blocked, but I think that's just because the brakes, then hopefully when we take the brake out that'll release. And we'll be able to depart. There you go. So the signal pulled off there, so that then coded into the interior. So mid-L basically pulls the signalling from the outside. That's quite a good way to show that. So you can see we're on 3 kV of DC current. We've got brake mostly released. I think it's the loco brake's probably stopping it. If I let the loco brake out, and we're going right. Oh yeah, the signal pulled off. That must have been the signal. There you go. Power in. Let's go. Nice smooth pull away. Our starting speed. It's technically a 50. You also get a lot of vigilance checks from mid-L. Like I say, I'm glad I managed to get it going. It's lost the coding there, so I need to keep resetting it now. We're going to be restricted to 40 until it pulls the code for the next signal back in. So every time the blue light goes away, I have to basically do my vigilance check, which is what that spacebar tap is. Slightly overcharge the brake, make sure the brake's fully pulled off as we move away. Now there is limited static fill in this because again I've been having stability issues. I think it's the Vectron that's doing it, but alas. And today we're actually going to be continuing as far as Stare Mesto Uherskeho Hradiste. So this is Otrokwit as our first stop, followed by Stare Mesto Uherskeho Hradiste. There you go, coding for 40 again. When that basically that's what's restricting us. We're in a 50 permanent way, but because of the adverse signals ahead, it's saying 40 max. So there's a big freight yard here. I will pad it out before release. This will be released by the Train Sim Community website, as per usual with me and my content. And we'll go from there. So you can see we're just rolling past the yard here. So this will be full of Ianos and stuff when I release it. I do really like this livery. In a way, it's weird that it's sort of very... looks quite modern. But I think that's probably actually the TD logo itself. So if I hide that, I would say that's 90s. For a second I panicked. Also interestingly, the two fronts are different. So this is this end's front. And that is that end's front. So it's... oh no, it's the same. Huh. Right, that's that, I thought, for some reason I thought I had blue grills. I am silly. That signal doesn't apply to us, because that's on for that track there, which is the red, which it should be, because we're going to be crossing over it. Hopefully. Yeah, see, so now it's saying that we've pulled off to a green, so actually what I'll do is I'll tap up to 50. So remember, on the Vectron, you increase the AFB and then you press Q to confirm. And then waiting to cross over the tracks here, and then we'll kick in. Basically, when we get the full train over the point work, we go up to 160. Lovely bit of snake in there from our train. So just to show you this as well. So this is a Czech bumps, I think. Czech amps. Oh no, so this is the Austrian one, I think. This is pretty cool. This is the kids' compartment. So you can see you've got the icon of a tourist pulling some passenger coaches and a TV screen with these posters, which is quite fun. Fucking weebs. Right, we're now fully on the main line. Let's lag it basically. 160 and then confirm it, and then the train starts to accelerate away. Open the throttle fully now for 160. And then the train starts pulling away. You can see the traction motors thinking about it and sort of tempering themselves here. It's getting a bit of slip. This is sort of designed as a late summer scenario. It's I'm recording this in March, and it's very cold, so I'm sort of imagining being here in the summer. And this is Horní Moštěnice. So mosht is like a fruit syrup. Absolutely love, like I say, just the shape of the Vectron, and this livery really complements it, I think, actually. So we're not being required to give as many confirmations now because we're under proceed aspects. So this only really checks. Oh, we can turn train heating on. I mean, it doesn't make a difference because the heat, it will be the AC that'll be powering. There you go. You can open a window if you want. Get a bit of the outside sounds. Of interest. So that's the low tone you find here from the outside. So we're now up at 160, so we can basically just sit here and enjoy the high speed running. Now we are coming up on the changeover from DC to AC, so I need to do some things here. There is actually yeah, it's this station here. So close the throttles. I'm going to open the MCB. Actually, I should turn the heat train heat. Open MCB, train heat off, pan down. I'm now going to tell the train it's on 25 kV of AC. Thank you. And then we'll change this system over. There we go. And we need to confirm that we're on mid-L still, safety system-wise. It's happy with that. And then I can... Actually, the train's saying don't raise pans, so... We'll wait. As we do a high-speed coasting manoeuvre here. We'll just tell it I've got the pan down. That sometimes helps it reset quicker. But we're now under AC wires. So it's now saying pan down. Which we are yeah. There you go, you can see the back pan's now raised, which is on the AC pans. And then saying the MCB's open, so we can close the MCB. We've got basically not allowed to draw power. do the Vectron, but it's currently just thinking about itself. But we've got 25 kV, which is ideal. You can see I've tried to draw power and the train won't let me take it. So it's saying PZB's off and ETCS is off, which ATCS is on. Sorry, we don't care about that. So it can basically reset those faults. There you go. We've got power again. Let's rumble. So getting the power on, getting her up to speed, and then going from there. But yeah, so our next stop is Hradiste. We've done that. We're looking for Hulín is our next waypoint, but we're still passing through at 160. Lovely cornfield next to us there. I hope you guys are doing really well. My day's been a bit mixed. I actually went out of the house today, so I'm still recording this during my annual leave week, which is the first week in March, in case you're wondering. Basically, because of the nature of my job, we're not all well. The company basically tells us, or gives us 3 weeks of our leave, and then we get like the rest, which is like basically another 2 weeks effectively, that we can allocate ourselves. This is Hulín, so I've got 13 kilometers to run now. I know where the 120 is. I've got it in my head now. Yeah, sort of running down the middle here. Got a train coming towards us, which is another Vectron, I believe, on a Uherskeho Express. I'll just show you his delivery. And he is proposing, or he is promoting, sorry, Prerov, which is the České magazine. Prerov, the true translators for you, and on this side he's got Železný chart, which is the railwayman. Yeah, railwayman. We'll go with that. I'm actually going to scan that QR code myself. See if it takes me to the. No, come on, behave. It does actually take you to the right website. That's cool. So it's basically a like a railway magazine. The Railway Gazette. There you go. Phew! Nearly got myself emergency brakes as we depart Hulín. That's a wagon repair yard over on the left that we're passing. I happen to know that much. You see, there are still some milk bottles. Yeah, we'll go with milk bottles. Milk bottles mean you're missing assets in the game. And that's why we had to sort of change over ourselves. I've just realised I'm going to have to chuck this ways into the future because I've only just done Oslo to Country Tech up by your guys' timetable. But there's so much stuff coming up, which I'm quite pleased with. Yeah, I've finally got my full front page unscheduled again. So I have a little bit of a go with YouTube. So when you first open the YouTube videos, your first 30 videos is basically where you're scheduled up to, so your first 30 videos. My goal is to have that scheduled. How exciting! That's very interesting. So we continue to run at 160 through this area. We only really start slowing down before Hradiste. Or possibly sooner. No, Hradiste. What we'll do, we'll fly forward with the train, and then sort of park ourselves on the platform here at Klumachov. We'll come rail fan ourselves, basically. Oh, on this side. Hang on. Weep. We passed through kilometre off at speed. So I've been, again, this part of Czech here, not sort of home to me, but not that far off being home, so to speak. And the sort of the shape of the terrain is absolutely bob on. And so the colours and like fall, I can feel the heat of the summer here, put it that way. And I do love the signal assets on these routes as well. They're very pretty. Tatra truck, again, they're freaking everywhere. Tatra trucks are actually, you're a pretty impressive bit to kit. It's just you never heard of them from the UK, or unless you're like a mega truck fan. So the level change for ETCS. So this is on ETCS in real life. However, when I try to run it on ETCS, it wouldn't let me. It wouldn't accept it. So I think I need to put ballasts in basically. So that is saying got an adverse signal coming up. So I need to think about slowing off. So I've got my brake in. Because basically it's, so my brake code kicking on. So we'll just coast it round. And it's going to check us down to 40 eventually because there's a failed signal here. So what we'll do, we'll come to a stand. I don't know what the check way to do this would be actually. So manual it. So we've got permission to pass the signal now. And it's saying it wants me down to 40 now. So we'll clear past the signal here. So we've got the permission to pass. We'll continue at 40 for now until it picks the code up for the next thing, because it's lost all code here. Basically, you've got the blue dot is my vigilance, and then the code is the signal that it's picking up, and it's not picking a signal up. Close the throttle, coast along for a bit. Odrokovite change here for something else, I don't know. They got 120s now permitted, so I'll put 120 in my window. And I'm going to accelerate, but maybe up to about 60, just because we want to stop about the end of the platform here at Odrokovite. What's this over here? Oh, Tyre Plant Continental. That's fun. I do love the old track station buildings. Not as good as NER station buildings, but you know. Let's just take rheostatic and start slowing ourselves in with that. And then it's constantly checking on us because it's saying, hey, there's a red, are you awake, are you awake, are you awake? Not particularly long route, it's not particularly busy route, but it's I think it is just a nice little outing on the train, and Putting ourselves in with there. Train comes to a stand, train stopped. And releasing doors on the right hand side, so we can actually do door release ourselves there. So some check stock, basically the doors release as soon as the train stops. Some you have to release yourself as the driver. I think basically with Train Sim it doesn't implement that particularly well, but there is footage on the internet, shall we say, of people travelling on check trains filming from the outside as the train's pulling away, and as the train starts to move, the door slams closed basically, and people trying to get in as the train's pulling away. It's insane. Like, the amount of shit in terms of like train dispatch that we do is unreal. That's that they don't do here in terms of train dispatch is unreal. Okay, dispatch complete. Let's go. It's a 40. It's pulled off to 160 now, so the signal's reset itself. So it's a 120 still for me though, so sorry, up to 80. And it's about 17.1 kilometres now to Uherskeho, Hradiste. This is cool. Wonder where this branch line goes. They've put knitting up for part of it. I'd hedge my bets and say other than testing electric trains we've been under that. This is really common, so this is a gas main. And it goes up and down, and that's basically a thermal expansion joint. There's an expansion joint in the gas. As is that weird S-bend. They put a lot of expansion joints into this one gas pipe. Probably real, but yeah. Actually get like random S-bends though, and random bridges, so you don't really need them. And this is a freight Vectron. So this is basically purview of Vectrons and modernised Aces along here. And you've got special livery Vectron Franciszek Ringhofer from 1817 to 1873. One of sort of the, I'm presuming, well, Ringhofer the second, which will mean he'll probably be like some sort of crazy background in railways in over here. See, that's a 383 or a 384. I'm not sure what the difference is. Like I said, I think 383s and 384s are by default qualified for cross-border work, but I don't really know. And then you've got some Uagups. He's taken some cereals. It's just pretty common over here, especially in this sort of late summer. You get a lot of grain travelling about, basically. It's probably the best way to explain it. Yeah. So we do step up speed as well, which is always fun. So you see the gas main rejoins us here, and it joins along our bridge to get us around here. So 130 off the bridge. So what I'll do is tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap. There you go, 130. We'll give it back sort of 2/3 power, so just gradually pick it up. And here the train starts picking itself up, energy up. I just like to say, genuine driving this thing is so much fun. Especially when I managed to get mid-L to work. Don't ask me why it wasn't working last time, I don't know. 150. Oh, 150. The reason I tap straight up to 150 there is by the time I've passed it, because I'm moving it some chat now. Yeah. And, oh, crikey, Joe. And there's 160. We'll just let the train keep going for it. Through Napayedla. That's a little bit of an industrial site there. Like I say, this we padded out with a lot of static fill, but the AI is sort of the shape it's going to be. There's only sort of 1 bit of static in here. Well, 2 bits technically, I guess. But the freight stuff is just, as soon as you start adding it, it's very difficult to know when to stop. Through Napayedla Zastávka. Well, actually, no, it's not Zastávka, it's Stanice. So, a Stanice is a station, Zastávka is a stop, or a halt. It does look good, the Vectron going past, like I say. Ah, shite. Right, got DVD'd, so we acknowledge. It's basically dumped all the air out, so I just need to repressurise my air pipes, which is by doing this. So I've got the brake release now, so I can let go. But basically the train always stops by the time you've done it. But what this does do is allow us to just absolutely buck it out of here. And just show how quickly this thing goes. So bear in mind this is from a standing start, and it's I think about 300 tons on the drawbar. 449 tons on the drawbar. Let's go. No. Basically, it just keeps its acceleration rate going. You know, it's sort of pull away from. So most trains, you get quite good acceleration from the start, and then they sort of tail off as they get into the top end. This doesn't. It just keeps going. Just absolutely storms. And that was Spitting. It's cool, we've got a tractor down there. On a farm track. Uh-oh. I know. I panicked for no good reason. Uherskeho. So looking at our medal, you can see coded for a green signal. Vigilance is in. So basically, when that light goes out, you need to reset the vigilance. Maximum authorized speed for speed supervision is 160. Right, we now need to start thinking about slowdown. So, rears go in. We've just got a full rear static and start adding some air as well. So that 757 was one of our bits of static fill. And there, brakes off, air off. You can see there's a city elephant there. That's not a city elephant, you are hallucinating. That's clearly a Interpanther. can see we're sort of regenerating fully now. So we've regenerated a bit more than a tenth of what we've burned. Bit of minor graffiti on the train there. As we draw to a stand here at Mesto, Uherskeho, Hradiste. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I really do hope that. We're hopefully going to come back with a bit more Czech stuff in the future. I've just got the safety systems in my head, so I'm sort of trying to run through as much of it as I can whilst they're all here and everything works. There we go. So everything's neutralised. Put a bit of what we can actually do is train brake off, loco brake on, door release. And I will also just show you really fast. So when I press Control P, it changes the voltages. So I can't convince it to do that. But basically earlier, because I hadn't changed it, it was really confused about how much AC current I had, which is quite fun. And it was performing accordingly. But yes, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like if you did. Don't tell anyone if you didn't. See you next time. Tatty bye. Or should I say, na slyšenou, nebo na viděnou.